What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Monday Show, as we're calling it. We still have that name going. I'm excited to see you guys. I'm excited to be here. It is Monday. It's the start of another week, and a week that a lot of stuff happened in my life. My mother was here in town. I got to see her for several days. I got to go see Guns N' Roses, which was pretty wild. I'm going to talk about that a bit. I played a show, I played a full hour-long set. Even after trimming it down a little bit, I still ended up playing 14 songs. It was an awful lot of covers. That was interesting and kind of a wild experience, but it does lead to some pretty cool stuff that I can talk to you guys about going forward. I have plans I'm putting in motion as far as getting this music video shot. A lot of good stuff, a lot of very cool stuff going on that I'm going to share with you tonight. And I also had some kind of big, I like to share with you guys my internal monologue and all the different things kind of that go on in my life. Because sometimes I think it helps you guys or it can be helpful for you guys. And I'm definitely planning on sharing some of that stuff with you guys tonight. I had kind of a big one this week, actually, that I will get to on the show here in just a little bit. We do have a little bit of Schmodown stuff. I do have a round 2 tournament matchup coming up here against Paige Frabetti pretty soon. I went on a show, and Sparks flew. There was she crashed my interview, so we got that building up. But a lot of the Schmodown stuff, we either save it for the study sessions that we do on Patreon, or we talk about it over on Action Guys. So I probably won't go too heavily into Schmodown stuff tonight. Probably talk a bit more about music, some of the other stuff that has been going on in my life, and as well as the next studio diary, which the next studio diary is going to be this weekend. So in fact, I think the next studio diary will be this weekend on, I want to make it on Saturday or on Sunday. I think let's make it on Sunday. Yeah, we're going to make the next studio diary this weekend. It'll be on Sunday. It'll be early afternoon, probably 2 or 3 o'clock. I'll be able to show you guys the nearly done version of Happiness, which is pretty wild. I'm a big fan. I actually got to play it for Drew. I got to show it to him, and he was a big fan of it. He really liked it. It's a different vibe than what I had done previously with Sorry for Tonight, Late Night Love Song, and I think it's really cool sounding. I think it's got a lot of, Chris Woodburn said the Spider-Man trailer at long last dropping tonight. Is that confirmed, or has it already dropped, or it's going to be dropping soon? I know the shenanigans that it was maybe going to drop, but I didn't know if it was confirmed yet or not. Let's find out if that Spider-Man trailer is out. I doubt it. I feel like I would see all kinds of tweets if that was the case. But I will be excited to watch it when it does come out. Couple quick donations that I want to get to here, just in the middle of my internal monologue. First one here is from JD Domash. JD, it's great to see your name in here, my friend. We were going back and forth a little bit today on Patreon. Hey, everyone. Sorry I can't join live today. Got some Fan League matches coming up, but wanted to just say hi. JD, big salute. Since we've changed the channel from Nerds and Suits to Ben Bateman, this is just a manifestation of all of my music stuff. I don't entirely know if I want to keep doing the hair tussle. I mean, I like the hair tussle, don't get me wrong. But I kind of, on some level, it feels like I want to keep doing the salute. There's such a crossover synergy with action that it almost just feels more appropriate, especially considering, you, JD. I know you're an action guy also. So, but either way, thank you. I appreciate the donation. I really do appreciate you being here, and good luck on your Fan League matches. Next up, we have one from Ryan R. Can't wait for the studio diary. Always a great time. Keep it up, Utah. Thanks, Ryan. Big salute to you and the hair tussle. Yeah, it's going to be a fun studio diary. It was great to have my mom here. It's going to be kind of an interesting show today because, it's not like I don't level with you guys normally. I think I always level with you guys. But what I can sort of share with you guys is where I'm at currently mentally in my life. I'm kind of in a tough place at the moment. I'm trying to fully. I'm trying to fully sort of grasp or gather exactly what the next phase of my life looks like, right? The one where I'm full-time doing entertainment stuff, while at the same time battling against some of the physical limitations that are just coming with my life at the moment. Unfortunately, it's health kind of sucks. And there are certainly more things I could and should be doing to take better care of myself. And I'm certainly trying to do some of them. But I am finding that like life feels very chaotic a lot of the time. And I wonder if this is something a lot of you guys relate to. I can't imagine my experience in this where I just kind of feel like I'm jumping from one platform to the next and just hoping I make it each time. It's what my life has felt like for such a long time. But now that I feel like I'm really jumping into a much more unknown kind of void. It's even more scary and even more stressful. And so that's like what I wake up with every day, and I'm trying to carry around. And I try to focus on creative stuff or on stuff that I feel like makes, mentally kind of gets my brain into a better place, because it's very helpful. It's hard. One of our patrons here and I were going back and forth earlier talking about staying busy and about how staying busy can be so helpful, because if you don't, you find yourself drifting a little bit, feeling a little aimless. So that is the energy though that I am. Some days it gets a stronger hold of me, and some days it doesn't. But as I'm trying to be as creative as possible and write songs and finish songs and stay on top of finishing an album and finishing all these different things, on the days that stuff really grabs hold, it's like it's harder to feel motivated. It makes it harder to feel like I'm going to just get off my ass and do it every single day. So yeah, that's kind of where my head's at. And so I'm sure tonight during the stream, I'll probably allude back to that a little bit, more and more. I wouldn't, it's funny because talking to my mom while she was here, it was actually really nice at first when she first showed up. And Mom, you're probably watching this, and, I love you to death. But I'm just going to be honest. When she first showed up, it was tough. The first day was like, how are we going to do this? Because I'm mentally in a place where I'm not doing that well. I don't really want to have to, I don't want to explain myself to someone who is obviously going to care, but have lots of follow-up questions. Your mom is never going to hear you talk about how tough things are and then be like, okay, well, let's go get lunch. She's a problem solver. She's going to want to solve problems. So at first, but by the end of the trip, it actually was really helpful for me to be able to talk it out with her and just kind of express everything that I was feeling. And that's great. That is the power of family. It's the power of close friends. And it's what you have to remember, that even when you're feeling the most isolated or you're feeling the most alone, or when life feels the most chaotic, it is really important to have a network of people and what's the word I was looking for? An environment, network environment. What the hell's the word I'm looking for? Support system, maybe. I can't think what the word I'm looking for is, but to have that stuff in your life every week, the people you check in with, the places you go, the things you do, the things that you kind of do to get yourself into a better place. Another thing, talking about, support system. There we go. That's you guys were there ahead of me. Same time, almost a little bit before. Chaotic life is unfortunately normal, says Kelly. Yeah, for sure. It's I think it is, and that's kind of what I was saying. Is I don't think that I'm alone in feeling this, but it is something that I've been feeling a lot of, and so I actually had one patron reach out with a question of any suggestions. Like they were like, I'm doing a lot of the normal things that I'm supposed to be doing, basic stuff. Anything else? And I just a few minutes ago sent this message, and I've tried to do this myself before in my life, and I actually find that when I successfully do this tends to be one of the most helpful. It's to try to identify in your life where the most stress comes from. Where do you physically feel bad, right? Where does your stress come from? What are the places that, like the things that happen or the things you do or the places that you interact with that bring you sadness or depression? And if you can, when it's happening, because I guarantee you at the end of the week, if you think back about your life during the week, you're going to think about those things, but you're going to come up with 25 of them. And as you're having that thought, it's going to be very difficult to organize them. You're going to get distracted by something. You'll go back to that experience over and over again. But if as you're going through your life, you can be aware of it as it's happening, something happens and you realize the level of the heightened level of just oh my God, I feel like I'm going to fucking explode right now. Okay, what's making you feel that? Pull out a piece of paper, pull out your phone, write it down, right? You when it's happening, as it's happening, you can usually tell, right? Maybe it's that it's the daytime and it's 11 in the morning and you stayed up till 4. You stayed up till 4 just because you were watching movies, because you just didn't want to go to sleep and you just didn't regulate. You didn't make yourself go to sleep. And now that next day is just rough, right? You can literally, as it's happening, go, I feel shitty. I'm aware of the fact that I feel shitty because I didn't get enough sleep. My body is trying to recover. It's not doing that good of a job. Write this down, right? Write it down. I feel shitty because I stayed up till 4 a.m. When you go back and you look at that list, if you do that for a couple weeks, you're going to notice. You're going to notice every time you have a hangover, every time you stay up too late. You're going to notice every single time you talk to that one friend who at the end of the conversation, you feel stressed out every time, right? You're going to notice that it's that conversation with that person did it. You're going to notice that it's a parent that you're talking to that's making you, or a certain person at work. You know, that's the shit you're going to notice, guaranteed. Maybe it's a show you watch. Who knows? But you will notice if you do it. And if you write that stuff down, you will find a pattern, and you can start to systematically. It's not easy. You can't just be like, work stresses me out, quitting my job. That's not how the world works. But there's a lot of shit you guys can do, you can pay attention to, that's going to make your life feel a little easier. And it's something I try to do. It's easier said than done. I'm not the best at it, but it is definitely something that I focus on. And so I wanted to share that. I'm going to pivot away from self-help stuff a little bit. I know, guys. As I said, guys, this is kind of a little bit of a strange show. I have a feeling I'm going to just kind of be rambling a little bit. Excuse me for a second here while I just check my TikTok. I just want to see how my TikTok's doing. No, but actually, I've gotten fairly addicted to posting these videos and seeing it grow. Once you get to 1,000 followers, you can go live on TikTok. And I was thinking about one of the best ways, probably, that I'm going to be able to build a music audience on. Hey, sir, play Sorry for Tonight by Ben Bateman, says Chris Anthony Lopez, JFTB. One of the best ways, I have a feeling I'm going to be able to grow my music audience on TikTok. Because I've explained to you guys the theory, right? The theory behind the TikTok stuff I'm posting right now is shit that I think is funny, old interviews, and then periodically, like either reviews of movies I do, or if I do a cover or a new song comes out, obviously I'll post it on there. But the goal is eventually to get up the follower base large enough that I will eventually post the right type of music content, and that music content will grow. Because I think what I'm doing is good enough that I think it will happen. So that's why I've been posting as frequently as I have. And it's been great. I've been posting for about 2 weeks now, and I've gained about 600 followers. So I'm going to keep doing that. And once I get to 1,000, once you get to 1,000 followers on TikTok, you can go live. And I do think going live on TikTok is going to be a great way for me to grow and build an audience with some of the people there who look for music content, because they'll pick me up in the middle of a song that I'm playing or something like that. And hopefully, in theory, that will work. We'll see. Anyway, but on that note, I am very, very excited about sort of all the growth, all the music stuff that I have been doing. In the chat here, I see Chris Ballesteros. He says, what's up, Chris? I got to hang with Chris this weekend just a little bit. William Harold and Chris Ballesteros both came out. I played a show in Santa Monica here. It's at a place called the Chez J. If any of you guys ever watched that show, Goliath, the one that was on Amazon Prime, that's where he lives. He lives at the hotel there. They have a restaurant, and then they have this cool back patio area. I'd never been to the back patio before. It's right there, just off the water. It's like an overlook to the ocean, and it's an awesome space. I met a guy who plays there every week. He has like a residency. He does a bunch of live stuff, covers. He's like, I have somebody open every week. You know, if you do want an hour, I'll give you the 6 o'clock Saturday. So, of course, I took him up on it. My mom was here. It was super, super awesome. It was really, really, really fun, and she was there. My neighbors showed up, you know, Drew, Ashley, as I mentioned, you know, William and Chris. It was a great group of folks. You know, I didn't tell very many people about it. I think I announced it on the show last week at the end of the show. I don't want to say reluctantly, but I had not planned on it. And then the guy, Johnny, who had me open, he put it on Instagram day of. So I reposted it. But I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know if the venue was cool or the vibe would be like. And so I guess I just felt nervous about it. I didn't want to post it and try to get people to come out because it just felt like, you know, I have no fucking idea. Honestly, if any of you guys are performers, I know Maddie is, there's just something about inviting people out to your stuff that is, especially in LA, just kind of unnerving. I think it's just because there's so many things here all the time and everybody's always inviting you to something that they're doing, and you just don't want to be that person. You want to save those moments when you're really trying to get people to come out to like the shows that are, I don't know, like have a more important, but it's so difficult to say what's important because I'm sure it was important to the guy that had me open for him for it to look good. So then it's like, does that make me an asshole? I don't know. The show was awesome. It was awesome of Johnny to invite me to do it. And I ended up having, like I said, about 10 people there, which was great fun. I did book another show there. So that's the really cool thing. I put it in the title here, was that more shows. I've got that one, and I actually have another show I'm thinking of playing as well. there's a venue called the North End of Hollywood that I played. It's a bar, and I played a little show there like 2 weeks ago. It was like my first kind of more real show. It was like six or seven songs, and they had been trying to get me in for another show, and it's a block away from the Cantina. And so I'm playing the night before on the 11th in Santa Monica at the Chez J again. So if anybody's in town for that, I'll have a show the night before on the Saturday. But also, I was thinking of just booking back-to-back shows and maybe just booking North End of Hollywood, seeing if I could get the 5 o'clock so I could literally play a show right after Cantina. Like I could go to the taping, could be there, and then I could just walk across the street, and anybody who wanted to come over to see the show could. I was thinking of asking them if I could get the show, just because I do feel like there's something to be said for convenience. If everybody's there in LA already for it and they're right there, maybe that's, like I don't know. But all this being said, the reason I bring it up is because playing this show at the Chez J and the going back again next month to do it again, it's now getting me in that headspace of, okay, you need to be ready to play these songs. You've got to be able to play a full set. You've got to be able to play 10, 15 songs and actually have your transitions down and know what it's all going to sound like, so that it because I played this set and I played like four or five originals, and I played the rest were covers, right? Because it was a bar show, so you want to make sure you're you want to make sure that people are enjoying themselves. But one thing I noticed was that on a lot of the covers, the ones I've played a lot, they were great, right? American Girl, Free Fallin', like the stuff I've played, Fallen Angel, they were fun, they were easy, they were consistent. Hysteria. The stuff that was a little newer, or that I hadn't played live in a while, wasn't quite as good, right? It was a little looser. I still did a good job on the songs, don't get me wrong, but they were definitely just a little bit more, wonky. One thing I did do was I did a cover of Faithfully, which some of you guys saw me do Faithfully when we were at New York Comedy Club, and it was really fun. That was a great cover that we did there where I was playing it, and we had the wigs on, and Drew was dancing, but I played it in a totally different key. And I learned it in a different tuning this last week, and I learned it in a different tuning, and I think it's such a fun way to play the song. So much so, honestly, I'm liking it so much, I might even just do that as a cover this week on YouTube. I was planning on doing probably Stay by Justin Bieber and the Kid Laroi. Like I was probably just going to record that on Wednesday, but I might audible and just do Faithfully. Now that completely is counterintuitive to the plan of growing this channel, which is to do songs that are newer that I like, because that's what nobody is searching for. Faithfully by Journey right now. But I have such a hard time with that because the stuff I like to play, it's like all 80s rock. That was actually kind of hilarious. I played all these originals, and then all the covers were like 70s and 80s songs. I did play Iris. Allison, I picked up the guitar before this to see if I could maybe do it, but my voice was cold because I took a quick nap this afternoon, like an hour ago, and so my voice just hasn't really gotten there. But usually, if I do this, if I do the show and I talk to you guys, often by the end of it, my voice kind of will warm up a little bit. So, Chris Ballesteros says, "Got to do one for Blank Space." I do love Blank Space. I cut it from my set. I almost played T Swift. But decided not to. Maybe a little later in the set, guys. I will try to get through Faithfully if I can. I want to make sure that I do a good job with it. But I mean, even if I can't sing the high stuff at the end, I can at least do my best. So maybe I'll try that. But the show was super fun. It was a great experience. I played the Hummingbird over here. She's a beauty. I got a pickup installed, so it was fun to be able to plug that in. Dug up my old tuning pedal, had to change tuning several times throughout it. I can tell you guys the set if you want to know what I played. I'm trying to remember if I wrote the whole thing down. If I wrote the whole thing down or not. Let's see here. Let's pull it up. The set that I played was like... Let's see. I played Hysteria. I played Don't You Look Back Now. That's the original song. I played American Girl, Into Free Fallin', that medley I do. Fallen Angel. I played that Laney song, Up to Me. Oh, this is a cool one. I played Don't Cry by Guns N' Roses. I taught myself Don't Cry the morning of the show, And because they played Don't Cry at the show with Ellis. I'm going to talk about that show in just a second, but I learned Don't Cry and I played it at the show. It wasn't my strongest cover. It was a little more loose, but it was definitely a really fucking fun song, and I had forgotten how much I enjoy that song. So maybe that's another one I could maybe play for you guys that tonight maybe. It's a really fun song to play. And if you guys don't know that song, it's incredible. I played Happiness, played Iris, played Faithfully, cut Blank Space, played Late Night Love Song, played Learning to Fly. I played Sorry for Tonight. I mentioned Free Fallin'. I think there's one other song in here that I played that I'm forgetting. Yeah, I don't know why it's not in here because I copied this down from another set list. But overall, though, it was definitely really, really, really fun. And yeah, Don't Cry was kind of a highlight. So, but it was good though. I got a much clearer sense of what the show is going to look like on the tour. It actually got me pretty hyped up for the tour. Just remembering that, like, number one, it's so important that I do this. It's so fucking important that I play these open mics and I play these shows, because I have to remember this is what happens when you're this far into the song. Your voice always does this thing, or this song ends without any, there's no urgency with this song. Or as much as you like playing this song, you can tell everybody zones out. I was actually surprised that in the middle of all these other kind of higher energy or bigger vocal songs, Late Night Love Song performed pretty well. People really liked it. It seemed like it was really well received. Happiness was really well received. I was actually on the whole really happy with the way that the originals were all received. It made me feel like I have all these songs you guys have heard halves of that I want to finish and I want to get through. And in fact, maybe that might even be what tonight's show is maybe at the end of the night tonight, I'll spend 10 or 15 minutes and I'll play through a few songs and kind of warm up so I can show you guys some stuff. Because there's a few of these songs that I am wanting to more and more finish, and I have a goal this week to finish 2 of them so that I can, the set needs to have. I have all these songs that I wrote for the set. And most of them just don't have a second verse. And so I need to finish those songs so I think I'll already have the ones recorded or the ones finished that I want to record. But either way, maybe I'll do that. Anyhow, the show was great. Like I said, it was a pretty long set. I would call it a pretty successful set. The parts of it that were weaker were a little weaker. And definitely there was some stuff where it's like I need to get the looping station more involved, and I need to be able to create a little bit more of an interactive show. My mom was like, when you talk between songs, you need to speak up. I have this funny tendency. It's so funny. You guys hearing this right now, it's like the fucking antithesis of what I do on here. But I have this tendency that when I play live music between songs, I'm sort of soft-spoken. I don't really say a whole lot, and I speak just really briefly, and I, make a joke about myself, and then I start playing. I don't ever speak like this, right? I'm not like I'm not presentational. I don't like host with a guitar in my arms. And I think I don't know why. Maybe it's more humility when it comes to music, just like that feeling of you just always feel like people think you're kind of, bad or just above average. I'm not really sure, but whatever it is, I think this will be the first time I've ever in my life really, really consistently played this many live shows, and then especially for the tour, that'll be the first time I've ever played really like that kind of consistency. But I'm definitely looking forward to the tour and the sort of launch pad of this and this next music video. And I can definitely feel the sort of groundswell coming up now as I'm getting closer and closer to the tour. So this show was a big step in that direction, and I'm looking forward to it. So I will promote this next one, the next Shay J show, a little bit more. Try to get some friends to come out and make it a little bit more of a night. My mom and I actually had plans to go see Ellis's comedy show at the Comedy Store right after. So, we got to hang for a few minutes, but then we took off and went to Hollywood to go see Ellis's show, which was fantastic. It was really, really good. Ellis is so funny, and he's just such a gentleman. He was so excited to have us come out, and, we had name on the list. And then we got in and like, of course, we got a couple drinks. Then we went out to talk to him, and the bartender was like, yeah, Ellis got your drinks. He wanted to buy your tab. And it's just like, he's just the best guy there is. Like, not only is he hilarious and incredibly talented, but he's also generous. You can never believe that guy could be as good of a dude as he is. So, yeah, we went out, and, my mom's in her 70s. And so this was exciting. She in Seattle, she lives a pretty consistent life. She has, she's a painter, obviously. She's an artist just like me. But yeah, I mean, a live music show and then, live comedy out in Hollywood. We did that. It was super fun doing that. And then on the way home, we hadn't gotten any food. And so we went to Mel's Diner at like midnight. It was like 11:30 or midnight. We got to Mel's. We did like the late night LA diner thing together. And it was really fun. We played music on the jukebox, and she had a blast. It was really fun. We had a great time doing that. So Saturday was a real highlight. The whole day was great. It was one of those things where you're just like, man, this is what it's all about. It's the whole thing when you get those memories to hang with your family. Because I live in a different city than my mom and my dad, so I don't get to see them as often. And so when they're here or I'm there, you have a tendency to default into things that you guys all know and recognize. Sorry, guys, mixing this up. So that was great. It was a great time. But the night before, on Thursday, 2 nights before, I went to see Guns N' Roses. I mentioned it on Action Guys a little bit, and I've never seen Guns. I had seen Axl with a group of guys, I think Dizzy and then a bunch of other people playing old songs and new songs back in 2008 that I saw that when they were playing with Bumblefoot as the guitar player. But I had never seen this version with Slash up there and Duff and the whole thing, and it was fucking awesome. It was like I'd wanted to go, and Ellis and I were talking about it, and I was going to just buy tickets and, invite some people. And then he was like, I got 2 tickets from the radio station. You just want to do that? And so I was like, yeah, dude, 100%. So we went, and like Ellis is a huge Guns N' Roses fan. And thank God, they were really loud because I was just screaming my balls off the whole time behind him. But it was super fun. Mammoth, which is Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolfgang, they opened. And they were pretty great, I gotta say. They were pretty fantastic. They had a couple songs in there, couple of the record songs that were really good rock songs, like good choruses. He can sing. It was definitely pretty cool. So I really enjoyed Mammoth. The Guns show was great. They played like almost everything that I could want to possibly hear. The only stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I'd always been curious to hear that I had never heard. There was like a few things like Mama Kin is a song off of GNR Lies. It's an old Aerosmith song. I'd always be curious to hear if they would do a cover of that because I always loved that one. And there's a few songs off of like the Use Your Illusion albums. Those were big albums. There's a few songs they didn't play, but what they did play, the songs that I was really stoked on, they played Estranged, which is pretty much my favorite Guns N' Roses song. It's a big ballad from Use Your Illusion. It's like 9 minutes long. And I've listened to the live version of that song so many fucking times that I couldn't believe they played it. It was so cool to hear them play Estranged. That was amazing. They did play Don't Cry. They played that new song, Maddie. Did they play that new song? I heard it was like, what is this thing? Oh, well, this is a thing, Elo. Yeah, they did play the new song, and it wasn't, it was not, I wouldn't call it a highlight of the show. We'll put it that way. But they played You Could Be Mine. They played Live and Let Die, which is cool. They played pretty much all the important stuff off Appetite. They opened up with Out to Get Me. They played, Jungle, obviously, and they played, they did play Mr. Brownstone, Night Train. I think they played My Michelle. I'm pretty sure. Though I'm having a harder time remembering now. But some of the weird stuff they did, like I think the really interesting stuff, the rest of the Guns N' Roses guys, Slash and Duff and all those guys, they were in a band called Velvet Revolver in the early 2000s with Scott Weiland, previously of the Stone Temple Pilots, now passed on, rest in peace. And they had a song called Slither that was their big hit. And fourth in the set, they came out and they played Slither. I was kind of shocked, actually, that they played it. They played 2 songs off Chinese Democracy. One of them was the song Chinese Democracy. The other one was Better. But I, sort of couldn't believe... That felt like one of those things where, they must have had to, agree, we'll play 2 songs off of your Chinese Democracy album if we can play this one song. I don't know. I was surprised by it, but it was pretty great. It was one of the highlights of the show, I thought. Slither was really, really great. And Axl crushed that one. So that was really, really fun to watch. Maddie Gunner says, fun fact, Miles Kennedy was asked to join Velvet Revolver before Weiland, and he turned it down. But overall, show was a really good time, and it was couple events in a week where I was reminded of, just like life existing and going to do fun things with other people that are awesome and like doing fun things. I know as crazy as that sort of sounds, but it's like, I think something I'm going to really just make a strong effort to do is I want to find a version of my life that I can consistently live, where I'm excited about being creative and growing, where I can go do stuff like this. I want to do more shit like this. I want to go to live events and be around friends and get closer with friends that I'm not as close with, you know, like I have a small group of people that I see all the time that I spend a lot of time with, but this is like the first time Ellis and I had ever just like hung out and gone to do something together. But we've been close friends for a few years now. And it was a great reminder of like how fun it is to get to know your friends better. So that was great. The show was great. And I'm really looking forward to doing more stuff like that moving forward as we get out of the hell that has been, 2020 and partial 2021. So other stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. We mentioned it already. The Studio Diary is coming this Sunday, early in the day on Sunday. Tomorrow night we have our Schmoedown study session that we do every single week. If you guys aren't patrons, patreon.com, patreon.com/Ben Bateman. And everybody at that diamond tier or above can jump in once a month. They go head-to-head in a 5-round match against one patron. It is run by the wonderful Megs and Kelly and a whole slew of you guys that write questions. It's a great time. Love doing it every single week. We moved it up slightly. It's on 5 o'clock on Tuesdays now. It used to be 6 o'clock, 6:15 on Wednesdays. And so we are now doing 5 o'clock on Tuesdays. Screenings are back. And, of course, as expected, a last-minute screening came up for Candyman, which is tomorrow night at 6:30. So this one's going to be moved up even a little bit more. We'll be starting this one at like 4:50 and just going a little bit less long. We'll be going for a full hour, 4:50 to 5:50 tomorrow for anybody that wants to be in on that session. Get excited, and of course we will be going the normal length on these most weeks, but the 6:30 screening is a rare beast. Didn't used to happen as much, but now they're just kind of doing it how they want to do it. So. Anyhow, I am looking forward to it. I love doing that. I do have a round 2 match coming up pretty soon. As always, need to prepare for those matches. There's so many good players now. Everybody's out for blood. I know Paige for Betty is. I know she wants to build her legacy. And Tyler, who is going to be doing our movie of the week. Tyler, I sent you a message about this, but we'll be pushing back movie of the week until the following week, just because we have limited time tomorrow. Because I'm going to go with I'm going to go see Candyman, and I'm also going to be bringing Andrew Guy with me to Candyman, who normally does not watch scary movies anymore, but I'll be getting him to watch this one. So we'll see how freaked he is. It should be a fun one, though. Well, I'm sure we'll have a review up of that one on the Action channel, which is you guys all know Action Industry is what we do over there. So anyway, guys, I think as far as kind of updates for what I'm doing, I was trying to think as far as the music stuff goes. We mentioned already, I've got the Studio Diary coming up. I'll be showing you guys a bunch of stuff in there. We've got September 27th is the date for release. That's going to be the date Happiness drops. The goal is to have the music video done then as well. We're still on track for everything else. Those of you that are watching this that have not already gotten your tickets, like I said, I have been locking down locations over the course of the last week on the tour, which has been great. It's been fun. It's funny city to city. Just some of the spaces are more expensive than others, but it all averages out, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. Anybody who has not gotten your tickets yet, it is Ben Bateman 2021tour.com is that is the website. And if you haven't already gotten your tickets, I highly recommend it. Obviously, that you will help me immensely if you decide to, and I'm very, very, very much looking forward to this tour. It is going to be one of the most special and exciting things I've ever gotten to be a part of in my whole life. So I can't wait. If you guys haven't gotten your tickets, I would appreciate it if you do. But otherwise, we've got the album coming up. We've got there's a couple cool promotional opportunities that are going to be going along with that I'm going to be with the release of Happiness. I'm really trying to make an effort to make sure that when I release Happiness, the video's done, the song has had the proper amount of time to, go through all the motions with Spotify to try to get on one of their editorial playlists. There's a whole kind of group of like playlisters that you can interact with. The producer I'm working with has a strong relationship there, so I'm going to work with him to try to get it on their radars. And then I have a friend who actually is going to be able to get me a spot, a radio spot, to premiere my music as well. So hopefully the combination of all those things together and a really strong push will get Happiness out there. And I just for some reason have like a sneaking suspicion. I think Happiness might end up being the best one. Not necessarily in terms of the best song, because I think that's such a subjective thing, but it feels like it's ready. I'm in the right place in terms of my sort of momentum and the tour coming up. I think we really might be able to blow out Happiness and just make it the song, and maybe even outperform Sorry for Tonight. We'll see. But I'm really excited for it, and I really do love playing it live. And I think this version that you guys are going to hear in the Studio Diary on Sunday is really something cool. It's something different and something special, and it just feels happy. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, I think for the most part, that's all my updates. I will miss you in the session, John Lestrina, callsign #Ladies Night. Big salute to you, my friend. And I don't think that I have anything else huge in terms of life updates that I wanted to share with you guys. I will share one last thing. This is kind of the thought process. This is me on my soapbox. If you guys actually give me 30 seconds, I'll share it with you guys. And I'm gonna share this with you, and then I might play a song or two. I'll try to play through faithfully, maybe one other thing. And if anybody here has a request, I can't do anything too crazy, but I won't stop you from Streamlabing in a request. All right, 1 second. I'm back. All right. Let's see what we got her. The same thing kept happening the whole week, which was so funny. I would play my mom a cover, and then she'd like it, and then I'd play her the real song, and she'd be like, "I like your version better." She's convinced my version of Blank Space was better than Taylor Swift's version. It's not. That's a fucking masterpiece. So what I wanted to. Oh, Maddie asked, "Did you do the Boys of Summer cover?" I didn't, and the reason is because I hadn't been playing finger-picked songs with my these fingers. There's a certain kind of finger picking, and then there's the ones where it's like the tips of your fingers that are doing the accents on the high two strings, and that's a very particular type of sound. And Boys of Summer, because of the angle, ends up being a little tougher on my fingers, and I just wasn't as ready to do it as I thought. That this is the whole point of why doing this rehearsal is so important. It's realizing what you can and can't do. So okay, we got ourselves a request for Blank Space from Allison Salamoni. All right, it's fair. I can mess around with some Blank Space. I can do that. Oh yeah, if you ever want to do a duet cover of the Atari's version, that Atari's version is pretty sweet, I gotta say. So I had this thought during the week. It was a small moment of clarity. I wanted to share it with you guys because I actually think, there's not that many people that watch this show, but those of you that do, you know me pretty well. By the way, anybody who's watching this hasn't already hit the thumbs up button, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. But those of you that do watch this show, you know me pretty well. You guys kind of know where my mind goes all the time. And I spend a lot of time, I imagine a lot of you guys do this too, thinking about how far will I get with any of the things I'm doing. So just how far am I going to get with them, right? Am I going to, how many views on the video? How successful will this thing be? How much money will I make? Will I meet a partner that will I actually find that I want to be with someone for the rest of my life? Is that even a place I'll ever get to? All these different sort of things, right? And I think a lot of people have similar thoughts, all different aspects of their life. They wonder these things. But here's the thing. If you like the things in your life that you're doing, if you are happy with the things you're doing, Alterman here, just saying hello. Quiz show. Salute to you, buddy. Back to dinner with the father-in-law. Nice to see you, Jeff. If you like the stuff in your life that you're doing, and you keep doing it, you will end up in a place in your life that you are happy with, right? You just will. That's where you'll end up. You'll end up in a place in your life that you're happy with because you have done things that are satisfactory. And wherever you end up will be where you end up. I know this is sounding like an obvious thing to say, but I think the reason I bring it up is because there's this idea of success that most of us have. It's not just entertainment, it's in the world. And that success tends to be driven by and based on what other people think about your life. It's like, did you find enough success? You know, did you make your parents happy? Are your friends impressed with what you're doing? Do you feel embarrassed with decisions you've made in your life? You know, like speaking 100% honestly with you guys. It's so weird. This is like speaking 100% honestly with you guys and the fucking world, because this is just on YouTube. But like, there's a lot of like concern and like shame that goes along with making big decisions in life, and like this big jump I'm making into this next part of my life. Like, there's a big part of me that's just like, am I going to be like so embarrassed of having done this? Because like, who knows how it's going to work out? And I have a pretty good life right now. And I think that, you know, for one thing that somebody has said, I think somebody in here said it to me on one of the recent shows. I think they said, if you choose to not do something because of fear, it means you're probably doing the right thing. Or if the only reason you weren't going to do something was because of fear, then doing it means it's probably the right thing, I think was what the exact quote was. And I think it's a really interesting attitude to have. Obviously, it's an attitude of a dreamer. It's the attitude of somebody who wants to, you know, go create and, you know, do something they're proud of. But I do think that there's some truth to the idea. And I think the idea is that there will always be a conservative or a safe option that will make you feel, you know, more risk averse. That exists for all of us, everything we do. And it exists beyond just like your career. It exists in a lot of different aspects of your life. But the thing I was thinking about the most this last week, what I was finding myself, it was like a brief moment of clarity where I just literally thought, I'm happy with what I've done so far in my life. So if I keep doing this and I keep going about it the same way, I keep working the same way with the same ideas, I will continue to be happy with it. Until I'm not, I guess. But if I continue to be happy with it, then who fucking cares where I end up? Like, who what does it matter? What does it matter? Like what status, level, success, achievement is unlocked? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is. And that gave me like a sense of peace. It's like, okay, so what clock am I racing against? Whose expectation? What clock are we talking about here? You know, so much of the idea of doing anything in life is, you know, trying to keep up with this expectation that you set for yourself. And if it's not based on someone else's expectation, and you can let that expectation of yourself go, and what you're really worried about is being satisfied, being actually engaged and happy with the things you're doing in your life, if that's what your life turns out to be about, then you're doing just fine. And how fast it happens doesn't matter. And the metrics you're trying to use, whatever quantifiable metric you're trying to use to determine your success, is fucking irrelevant, right? Like, I think it's a hard thing to do because we tend to focus on how much money we're making at our job, or again, I mentioned like a partner. I think so many people want to meet their partner. Like, it's a thing that a lot of people focus on. So a lot of us tend to focus on that, you know, how long it's been, and then once you meet them, how much time until this thing happens, starting a family and buying a house, and these things that like the world kind of just jams down our throats and convinces us are the way the world is supposed to work. If you're a filmmaker, when are you going to make your first film? If you're an actor, a musician, whatever, like, if you go to an Ivy League school, you know, when are you going to get to that next job? When are you going to, like, if you're going to go to school, did you go to an Ivy League school? You guys get the point. So I think that the moment I had this week was just, it's the moment of, I'm pretty happy with a lot of the stuff I do. I think I'm going to continue to be pretty happy with the things I do if I do them for the right reasons. And the reasons I'm doing them is because they engage me. They make me feel excited. They make me feel excited to make things, to podcast, to write songs, to perform, to be a part of the Schmodown. To like, these are things I like doing. I love to create. I want to keep creating. And I want to continue to create and experience success because of that creativity. And as long as I keep doing that, where I end up, it's very similar to that idea that we talked about the optimal version of your life. The optimal version of your life is the one that you are living as you look into the screen right now and I speak to you. You're living it right now, just the same as I'm living mine. Because the other version, the one that you could have done something better, worse, differently, go live that one if you want to. You can start it right now. In 1 second, you can be living that version. That will also be the optimal version. But the thing you didn't do was never your life. And the thing you might do that you don't do is also not your life. You are living the exact optimal version of your life. And every decision that you make, every choice you make, every sacrifice you make, every compromise you make shapes the version of your life that you're living, and you only get one. So remember that when you make your decisions, or when you feel sad or happy or motivated, unmotivated, depressed, disappointed, that's yours. So own those mistakes, own those wins, those decisions, and you'll end up where you end up. Just make sure you're doing things that bring you some fulfillment. Those things that bring you some happiness. You have to focus on those things, because if you're not doing those things, then what are you doing? Anyway, that was my ramble, my soapbox ramble for the night. I appreciate you guys listening. You guys are awesome. Love all these comments. You guys are sweethearts. So, all right, I'm going to do what you want to do. Period, says PLD. He just wants to watch every Ed Harris movie over and over and over again. All right. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. I'm gonna do sound check. I got a sound check. I got a sound check. Ooh. I'm gonna do sound check. I got a sound check. I got a sound check. Ooh. All right. Okay. So what are we going to start with? Faithfully is kind of probably the one I gotta sing last, because my voice is not warmed up yet. This is also in the fucking wrong tuning. It's alright, though. Nice to meet you where you've been. That's not a good key for it. Where you've been, and I can show you incredible things, magic, madness, heaven sent. Saw you there and I thought, oh my God, that face looked like my next mistake. Love's a game, wanna play.
funny suit and tie. I can read you like a magazine. Ain't it funny, rumors fly. And I know you heard about me, so hey, let's be friends. Time to see how this one ends. Grab your passport in my hand. Make a bad guy good for the weekend. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, if the high was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. Cause I don't love the players, and you love the game. Cause we're young and we're reckless, we'll take this way too far. It'll leave you breathless, or with a nasty scar. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. Cause I've got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. Cherry lips, crystal skies, I can show you incredible things, and then kisses, pretty eyes. Baby, I'm your queen. No, that's not right. Start that verse over. How's the second verse? Line? Somebody give me the line. What's the first word of the second verse? Waiting for the line. Can somebody put it in the chat? Cause I thought I knew the words, but I don't. And I don't. There's a reason that I was doing it wrong. Cherry lips, crystal sky, I can show you incredible things. Stolen kisses, pretty lies. I'm the king, baby, I'm your queen. Find out what you want. Be that girl for a month. The end yet to come. Oh no, screaming, crying, perfect storm. I can make all the tables turn. Rose garden filled with thorns. Diamond nuts, and I said, my God, who is she? I get drink, jealousy. You'll come back, it's time we leave. It's dawn on the nightmare, dressed like a daydream. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. So you tell me when it's over, if the high was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause you know I love the players, and you love the game. 'Cause we're young and we're restless, I'll take this way too far. It'll leave you breathless, or with a nasty scar. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. Oh, if it's torture, don't say I didn't warn you. Boy, there's only one. Oh, if it's torture, don't say I didn't warn you. It's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, if the high was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause you know I love the players, and you love the game. 'Cause we're young and we're restless, we'll take this way too far. It'll leave you breathless, or with a nasty scar. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
Kind of loose, not gonna lie. Guys, give me one quick second, run to the restroom, and I will be right back. I'll play a couple more songs before we get out of here tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will be right back. And I'm back. Sorry, guys. All right. Let's see what we can do. All right, ready? This is my new favorite cover I've been doing. Here we go. Let's get this down a little lower.
Highway run into the midnight sun. The wheels go round and round in my mind. Restless hearts sleep alone tonight, sending all my love on the wire. They say that the road ain't no place to start a family. Right down the line, it's been you and me. And love in a music, man, ain't always what it's supposed to be. Oh, girl, won't you stand by me? I'm forever yours, faithfully. The circus life under the big time world. We all need the clouds to make us smile. Through space and time, always another show. Wondering where I am, lost without you. Leave it on and easy on this love affair. Two strangers learn to fall in love again. I get the joy of rediscovering you. Oh, girl, stand by me. I'm forever yours, faithfully. I'm still yours, faithfully, faithfully. I'm still yours.
So my voice is still just kind of getting warmed up tonight, but that's the new way I've been playing it. You can hear it's not the original key, it just sounds different, but I am a fan of it. I like playing it that way. It feels kind of like a cool, unique vibe to it. I'm still yours. Alright, so I'm still learning how to play it, but I can try to fuck around with Don't Cry for a second. 2, 3, and 4, and talk to me softly. There's something in your eyes. Don't hang your head in sorrow, and don't you cry. I know how you feel inside. I've been there before. Something is changing inside you, and don't you know? Don't you cry tonight, I still love you, baby. Don't you cry tonight. Don't you cry tonight, there's a heaven above you, baby. Don't you cry tonight. Give me a whisper and give me a sign. Give me a kiss before you tell me goodbye. Don't you take it so hard now, don't you take it so bad. I'll still be thinking of you and the times we had, baby. Don't you cry tonight, and don't you cry tonight, and don't you cry tonight, there's a heaven above you, baby. Don't you cry tonight.
Please remember that I never lie. Just trying to remember how was it. Please remember how I felt inside now, honey. You gotta make it your own way, but you'll be alright now, sugar. You'll feel better tomorrow. But now, baby, don't you cry tonight. Don't you cry tonight. Don't you cry tonight. There's a heaven above you, baby. Don't you cry. Don't you ever cry. Don't you cry. I can't remember how to end it. Anyway, guys, that's the gist of what I was trying to figure out the other night. But I think the more I work on it, probably the better it'll get. It has some good vibes to it. And please remember. This new girl, she's got a nice place west of the 405. I've played this one a few times for you guys, you know? God, it's already 6:17. We're going way over, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It's just one of those shows, one of those random ones. We're just hanging out. I've been talking about this for a little while now, but the whole idea of this week, the music stuff I'm doing this week, is I'm just trying to finish some songs. So I think one of the ones I'm going to finish this week, at least I'm going to try to, but I played this song for you guys before. I'm going to try to finish this week. Missing you today helps me pass the time. Memories can fade, they'll always make me smile. And I remember your face, tears in your eyes. It was the very last time you'd ever let me see you cry. And always I see pictures of you
when my voice is not warm and I try to sing high stuff, it is so rough. I can hit the notes, but it's just like such a struggle. But I do like that song a lot. I'm going to try to finish it this week. I love that song. All right, last one, because we have a request. And said request has come in the chat from the lovely Dallas, of Dallas and Ryan. And it is... an easy one to sing, which I appreciate. Eric Lane here in the chat says, sad songs are tough for me. Today, I celebrate 20 years sober, and I'm more miserable than ever. Eric, I appreciate you sharing that in here. Fucking good on you, man. I know your affliction, though it sounds like it's not your affliction. I definitely am somebody who likes to get overserved, and it can bring me a lot of sadness sometimes. So making that decision for yourself and sticking to it is, I know, an important and a strong one. And I appreciate you sharing it in here. I think it's badass, man. It's really cool. So thank you for, yeah, man. Thanks for being here.
Out of touch, out of reach, yeah. You can try to get closer to me. I'm in love, I'm in deep, yeah. Hypnotize, you bring me to my knees. I gotta know tonight if you're alone tonight. Can't stop this feeling, can't stop this fight. Oh, I get hysterical, hysteria when you get that feeling. Gotta stop believing it's such a magical, mysterious when you get that feeling. Stop believing it's just a miracle. It's if you will for you. Hysteria when you're near. Out of me into you, yeah. You can hide, it's just a one-way street. I believe, oh, I'm in you, yeah. Open wide, mysterious when you get that feeling. Stop believing it's just a miracle. You say you will for you. Hysteria when you're near. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do thoroughly enjoy playing that song. Hysteria when you're near. All right. I gotta get out of here. But there's
100%. Tom, good job.
Ryan here with the Streamlabs donation says, your cover of Hysteria means a lot to Dallas and I. Thanks, man. You got it. I do really love playing that song. I think it's especially cool that that song has become that song has become like a cover that I always loved, and now I feel like I play it so much it's kind of become like a special cover to me. It's not just like this old Def Leppard song that I like that I found funny to learn how to play. Yeah, maybe I should just record a version of it, honestly. It does feel like for the album, you know, it's gonna be and I'm free, right? That feels like the one I'm gonna put on the album, but I guess you just never know. I think the last one I'm gonna play though, it's a cover I used to play maybe a year ago, a decent amount. So some of you guys probably know it pretty well. Kelly says Hysteria should be your cover for the album. It's cool. I actually think that's really cool. I mean, granted, you guys hear my stuff more than anybody in the world does because I play it for you all the time. So I feel like to you it has become synonymous with me because no one else hears me play it. But it is one of the few songs that without fail I seem to play in every set. So I can't really argue with you. And I do love playing it. I do love playing it. So I think what I'm going to do, I used to do this song quite a bit. John Wheeler asked, legal issues of putting covers on your album. There is and there isn't. You just have to, the artist or their estate ends up just getting some money from it is all that happens. So, all right. Here we go. That's what it is. It's the G string. All right. There's a southern accent where I come from. The youngins call it country. The Yankees call it dumb. Got my own way of talking, and everything's done with a southern accent where I come from. Now that drunk tank in Atlanta, just a motel room for me. I might go work Orlando if them orange groves don't freeze. Got my own way of working, and everything's done with a southern accent where I come from. There's this dream I keep having, and my mama comes to me and kneels down over by the window and says a prayer for me. Got my own way of praying, and everyone's begun with a southern accent where I come from. For just a minute there, I was dreaming. Just a minute, she was all so real. For just a minute, she was standing there. Got my own way of praying, and everyone's begun with a southern accent where I come from. All right, guys. I think that is officially going to wrap us up. We're a solid 30 minutes over, but you know what? I love it. Love playing music. Got to play some fun ones tonight. It's fun. I feel like nights like this. Actually, let me just turn this off. It's fun on nights like this, I feel like, because some of those songs probably won't really make it into a set list very often, right? Like, I don't think I'll play Southern Accents very often, if ever. And Blank Space, probably not too often. But it is fun. I like to play those songs. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here for the show. This is a good Monday. You know, we'll keep forging ahead with all the other cool stuff. And obviously, we'll continue to keep working on the album. I'm excited to show you guys on Sunday, this Sunday at, I want to say we have a show. I think let's say this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Studio Diary, 2:30 to 3:30. We'll be doing the thing, which will be awesome. Should be really, really fun. I'll be able to show you guys all the new stuff I'm working on, hopefully some songs that are finished, maybe some new covers, and then, of course, Happiness, the finished version or close to finished version of Happiness that I will have, which I'm super, super stoked on. So I'll see you guys there. That is for all patrons at the Diamond level. Speaking of the Diamond level and the Platinum level, patreon.com/Ben Bateman. Tomorrow night we have a study session. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. It's early. It's at 4:50. 4:50. We're going a little bit shorter. But at 4:50 on Tuesday, tomorrow, the 24th of August, we're going to be doing our Schmoedown study session. And other than that, guys, get your tickets, BenBateman2021tour.com. If you haven't already, I'm going to be in your city. I'm looking forward to it. Link in the chat. Otherwise, have a great night. I will see you soon. And thanks for watching and hanging out with me tonight. I will talk to you all very soon. Bye, guys.